Welcome to today's Cinema Scene, happy viewers. We'll be featuring 3 computer-animated comedies, Megamind, Rango, and Rio. Our first feature is Megamind, a 2010 production from DreamWorks Animation and Red Hour Productions that was released in digital 3D, IMAX 3D, and 2D. Directed by Tom McGrath, Megamind features the voices of an all-star cast, including 2-time Golden Globe nominated comedian Will Ferrell as Megamind, Golden Globe winner Brad Pitt as Metro Man, multi-Golden Globe and Emmy-winning comedian Tina Fey as Roxanne Ritchie, Jonah Hill as Hal Stewart, and primetime Emmy-winning comedian David Cross as Minion. The story introduces Megamind, the self-proclaimed incredibly handsome genius and master of all villainy. Megamind has been battling and losing to his nemesis Metro Man ever since they were babies. Although they had arrived to Earth at the same time from their respective planets, fate had very different paths paved out for them. Metro Man, with his superhuman strength, speed, laser eyes, ability to fly, and exceptionally good looks, grew up as the most popular kid in town. Megamind, despite his incredible intelligence, creative inventions, and pure intentions, was always the odd one out, with only Minion the fish as his companion. Realizing that he is only good at being the bad one, Megamind concludes that he was destined to be the supervillain and Metro Man's rival. On the opening day of a museum dedicated to Metro City's protector, Metro Man, Megamind and Minion detain reporter Roxanne Ritchie to lure the superhero into a trap. Everyone is shocked when Metro Man is unable to escape and apparently loses his life, but Megamind's victory is short-lived. The blue inventor finds no more purpose in being a villain when there is no hero to go up against. The disheartened Megamind happens to meet Roxanne, and using a special watch that gives him the appearance of the museum's curator, Bernard, ends up talking to her. One of her comments inspires him to create a superhero by injecting a candidate with a serum, giving them Metro Man's superpowers. When Megamind and Minion are ready to find a noble-hearted person to become Metro City's new defender, the serum is accidentally fired into Roxanne's clumsy cameraman Hal. Disguised as his space dad and space stepmom, Megamind and Minion begin to train Hal to be Titan, upholder of justice, honor, and nobility, and Megamind's new opponent. In the meantime, Megamind continues to meet with Roxanne under the disguise of Bernard. As the two become attracted to one another, Megamind begins to lose interest in foul play. When Megamind tells Minion that he no longer wants to be the bad guy, the ensuing argument causes Minion to leave his friend. Seeing them together, Titan, who is infatuated with the reporter, becomes jealous of Bernard. While on a dinner date with Roxanne, Megamind's disguise falters, and thinking that he was tricking her, Roxanne leaves him. Megamind decides to resume his villainy and go up against Titan as previously planned, but to his shock and dismay, he discovers that Titan intends to use his abilities for his own evil gains, and that Megamind may be the only one who can prevent him from taking over the city. Clever and fast-paced, Megamind is an enjoyable comedy highlighting righteousness and the importance of being kind.
It can be corroded over time.
Justice is a non-corrosive metal.
But metals can be melted by the heat of revenge.
It's revenge, and it's best served cold.
But it can be easily reheated in the microwave of evil.
Well, I think your warranty is about to expire.
Maybe I got an extended warranty.
Warranties are invalid if you don't use the product for its intended purpose.
Oh, girls, you're both pretty. Can I go home now?
Of course.
Let's now take a look at Rango, a 2011 American comedy from the director of the popular Pirates of the Caribbean, Gore Verbinski. With a mariachi band of burrowing owls singing and narrating throughout, the film follows a household pet who finds himself in the unfamiliar Wild West. The star of the movie, a chameleon voiced by Golden Globe winner Johnny Depp, has never had any real friends. Living alone in his terrarium, he passes his time pretending to be the lead in make-believe adventures with his toys. Everything changes when he falls off his human caregiver's car and finds himself stranded in the Mojave Desert. He has a strange meeting with an armadillo who is seeking the mystical spirit of the West. The armadillo, voiced by two-time BAFTA-nominated Alfred Molina, challenges the lizard to seek enlightenment in the hot, dangerous Mojave Desert. Finding no meaning in his current life, the chameleon ventures into the vast, mysterious desert. There, he meets desert iguana Beans, voiced by Isla Fisher. Beans takes him to the town of Dirt, a lawless outpost in the Wild West. The locals immediately make it clear that outsiders will not last long in town. In an attempt to fit in, the confident chameleon adopts the name Rango and puts on a facade of bravado, fabricating tall tales of his courageous feats. With luck, Rango's improvisations win the awe and respect of the Dirt residents. The mayor, an old turtle voiced by Oscar-nominated Ned Beatty, appoints him as the new sheriff. On the other hand, Dirt's water reserve, which is stored in a water cooler bottle at the bank, is critically lacking. Everyone's anxiety is heightened when the precious jug is stolen. As the town's only hope, Rango leads Bean and a group of assorted animals to find and retrieve the water. With all the townspeople's trust in him, Rango must deal with a huge clan led by Robert Balthazar, voiced by Harry Dean Stanton, the infamous Rattlesnake Jake, voiced by Bill Nye, and the mayor's unthinkable corruption, and ultimately Rango's own lack of confidence. Rango is an engaging adventure that captures the courageous, driven spirit of the Wild West. Through the ordeals of Rango and the Dirt townsfolk, the animation exemplifies the noble qualities of honest leadership and the strength of community.
Ain't always spoken rightly to you, Spirit of the West. But tonight, I want to thank you for bringing Sheriff Rango into our lives. It's a hard life we got. Sometimes, I don't know how we're gonna make it. Somehow, Sheriff Rango makes me think we will. We needed a brave man, and you sent us one. Nice to have someone to believe in again. Thank you, Spirit of the West. Amen.
Our final feature is Rio, a 2011 production from the creators of the renowned Ice Age trilogy and directed by Oscar-nominated Brazilian director Carlos Saldanha. The film follows Blue, a blue Spix's macaw who is smuggled from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, to a small town in Minnesota, USA, by illegal wildlife traders. There he is adopted by Linda, with whom he becomes the best of friends. Years later, while at her bookshop, Linda is visited by an eccentric Brazilian ornithologist, Trulio. According to Trulio, Blue is the last male of his species. In order to save his kind, Blue must be taken back to Brazil to mate with another macaw in Rio. Jewel, the bird meant to be Blue's partner, turns out to be the girl of his dream. But the independent Jewel is far from interested in the clumsy Blue, who, despite being able to solve physics equations and log into a computer, cannot even fly. And unlike him, Jewel is intent on getting out of the cage and back to the wild. Things go awry when the pair is birdnapped from Trulio's aviary by a group of smugglers and their intimidating, sulfur-crested cockatoo named Nigel. They manage to escape into a jungle. There they meet a friendly Toco toucan named Raphael, who offers to take them to his bulldog friend Louise to remove the chains still binding them. On the way, they are joined by a red-crested cardinal named Pedro and his yellow canary friend Nico. Meanwhile, Nigel and the smugglers are hot on their trail as Trulio and Linda continue their desperate search for Blue and Jewel. With the joyous sounds of samba and Brazilian music, Rio is a delightful film with a message of being good stewards of our precious animal co-inhabitants. This film features a musically gifted voice cast, including 7-time Grammy Award-winning will.i.am as Pedro, Oscar and Grammy Award winner Jamie Foxx as Nico, 7-time Primetime Emmy Award-nominated New Zealand comedian, actor, and musician Jermaine Clement as Nigel, as well as Oscar-nominated and vegetarian actress Anne Hathaway as Jewel, Oscar-nominated Jesse Eisenberg as Blue, Leslie Mann as Linda, Rodrigo Santoro, recipient of the Cannes Film Festival's Chopard Trophy as Trulio, famous talk show host and actor George Lopez as Raphael, and primetime Emmy-nominated Tracy Morgan as Louise.
Now, you flap your right wing, you flap your left wing, and together, you fly.
But this doesn't seem aerodynamically possible.
Yeah, you think too much. Flying is not what you think up here. It's what you feel in here. And when you feel the rhythm of your heart, it's like samba. You fly. See, it's easy.
Easy? Easy for you to say, because from here, it looks really, really hard.
Megamind, Rango, and Rio are brilliant computer-animated films that are sure to uplift and bring laughter to the entire family. Happy viewers, it was a pleasure having you with us for today's cinema scene. Coming up next is Vegetarianism, the Noble Way of Living, after noteworthy news, here on Supreme Master Television. May your days be filled with wonder and joy in the company of loved ones.
Enlightenment. We are nothing without it.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/CS.